Alright, hey, what's up guys? So I know it's been quite a while, but doing a little bit different type of video for you guys today. For those of you who've been with my channel for a while, some of you may recognize this. I did a video of this mini bike probably about a year ago. And anyway, what I'm doing is I'm going to show you guys a real easy way to make either a mini bike, or if you have like one of those cheaper go-karts, just a real simple way to make something like this go quite a bit faster than what it is stock when you first get them. So I kind of started this project because I didn't really think I was going to do a video on it. I'm not real far into it. As you can see, pretty much all I did was just took the rear tire off, and I decided, what the heck, I'll just show you guys what I'm doing. So the old rear sprocket used to be bolted onto this plate, and basically what I'm doing is I'm going to be putting a new sprocket on that is a little bit smaller than the original. And I mean, it's literally as simple as that. That will increase the top speed of the mini bike. So I'm going to get into a little bit more information after I just show the footage of the build here, because there's a couple things, there may be a couple reasons why you might not want to do this. So we'll get into that in just a little bit later though. Alright, so the 4 holes are drilled, and I obviously just use the pattern of these bolts. And just a quick note for you guys, so a real easy way to make a tire that has the sprocket mounted on the wheel is pretty much any tire that uses a 2-piece rim. Basically it's 2 halves that sandwich the rubber in between. If you just pop the short bolts out that hold the 2 pieces of rim together, and as you can see I just added these longer bolts and used some pipe as a spacer, slid them down over there, so then that holds the sprocket out. And then once you put the sprocket down, you just tighten the nuts down on the sprocket, and that holds the sprocket to the wheel really well. And then you can use the bearings in the hub of the wheel as your bearings that roll on your axle, basically. So if you use this method for a go-kart, obviously you don't have posi traction, you just have the one wheel spiel deal. So anyway guys, let's get it hooked up. Alright, sprocket's on there nice and solid, and a really easy way to tell if you've got it centered is just slide the axle through the hub of the wheel and just kind of check around it to make sure the distance is equal on all the sides. And this one looks close enough. Doesn't have to be perfect, so there's a little bit of wiggle room in it. So anyhow, looks good. All we gotta do now is mount it on the bike. Alright, so there it is. It's on there. So a couple of things you want to look for is you just want to eyeball both this sprocket, the one on the rear tire, and one on the engine, just to make sure they're aligned so it doesn't prematurely wear your chain out. I added a couple of spacers, obviously, between the hub and the frame on both sides, just so the tire stays right where it needs to. So I mentioned earlier, a reason you might not want to do this is when you reduce the size of your rear sprocket, it does increase speed, but it also steals a lot of extra power from your engine. So a lot of these little mini bikes, they come with like a 3 or 3.5 horse engine. I would probably not do this if your mini bike or go-kart has a smaller engine like that. This one is like a 5.5 horse Briggs & Stratton. So for something that weighs like, you know, next to nothing, I can literally pick this thing up very easily. So the engine doesn't, initially it doesn't have a whole lot of weight it's trying to pull. It's only trying to spin one rear tire. So I think it'll be fine. The sprocket that I used to have, as you can see, this is a little bit bigger than the rim. The sprocket I used to have came all the way out to this line. So if you can just picture how big of a sprocket that was, it was huge. And my top speed with that sprocket was roughly like 18 miles an hour. I'm hoping with this one it'll take it up to like 35. So we'll just see what happens when I do the driving. I'll let you guys know. So anyhow, and kind of go off of how much power does your mini bike have or go-kart have currently. So with mine, when the sprocket was out here, when I gave it full throttle, with me sitting on it, it could spin the rear tire. So I had plenty of power. I wasn't afraid to steal some of that power and turn it into top end speed. So anyway, just a couple of things to think about there. So anyways, guys, the only thing left is we'll throw the chain on it and take it for a quick spin, see how it did. All right, guys, so sprocket's all done. We're just gonna take it for a quick test drive and see how fast it goes. So with the old sprocket on it, it went about right around 20 miles an hour, I think, give or take, a few miles per hour. So I got my phone strapped right here. I got a mile per hour app on it, so I'll be able to clock how fast we're going. So anyways, just kind of took it out here to the road just to give us a nice straightaway. So anyway, see how it goes. Alright guys, so that actually was really awesome. It went 32 miles an hour, so so that's a pretty big increase. Something that I was a little bit worried about, or not worried about, but just curious with what's up guys, is still how much acceleration it was gonna have, and it still does just fine with acceleration. So neighbors just pulled up, so but anyway, so Yeah, it does. It still does really well with acceleration. So it didn't steal, you know, too much power from the engine basically, and you know, we increased our speed by probably, you know, 25 to 30%. So, like I said, it went about around 20 miles per hour, maybe, you know, 1 or 2 over 20, and now it goes 32. So, which is it doesn't seem real fast, but on this little thing it feels like you're moving pretty good. So anyway, let me pull the camera off here and let's see if I can get some footage while I'm driving. Alright guys, so anyway, that worked out really well. Hopefully that camera wasn't too shaky for you. I was trying to drive with one hand holding the camera and it was getting a little bit sketchy. So anyway, that's a really easy way to make your mini bike or go-kart go a little bit quicker. Like I said, as long as you have a big enough engine that it can, you know, handle that reduced gear ratio basically. You know, don't steal too much power from your engine. It works really well. So this little mini bike that I have has just a 5-horse Briggs & Stratton, and it does just fine. So as far as acceleration, still has plenty of power. So anyways guys, next video I have coming up is going to be another gun build. It is going to be an over-under handgun, shotgun. So see how it goes. I'll post the build video first over at my Patreon page, and then the test fire will just be on my YouTube channel. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. You guys be safe, and we'll see you next time.